Hi everyone and welcome to your daily tarot reading. This is for Saturday the 14th of October. It's an absolute pleasure to be with you today. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm using the Thoth deck or Thoth deck. Can someone once and for all tell me how to pronounce it please in the comments, because I really don't know. And I live in Glastonbury, maybe I should ask someone here how to say it. I really don't know how. English is not my first language, so I don't know these things. Okay, so we've got 3 cards in reverse. Interesting. First card is the 10 of Pentacles, which is wealth, and it's the Kabbalistic tree of life. Then we have the Ace of Discs in reverse. Ace of Discs is a financial blessing from the universe when it's upright. And then we have the Devil in reverse. How awesome. Wow. Okay, so everything that has to do with the real world, the physical world, is in reverse. So the 10 of Discs or 10 of Pentacles is all about getting your security and your sense of security from financial security. I have money in the bank. I have a beautiful house. I have people around me who love me. I have insurance on the house. I've got a job that's permanent. I'm on a permanent contract. And because I have all this physical wealth and all this physical security, I really feel good about my life. I feel secure. And because of all those things, I feel like I have a great foundation from which to move forward and to make even more money. Okay? So that card is in reverse. So is the Ace of Discs. So that tendency to get your sense of security from money or belongings is gone today. And what's really wonderful is that you feel secure and safe in yourself because you've not amassed, or you may have amassed a whole bunch of wealth, or you may not, but what you really feel secure about and what really gives you a feeling of contentment and tranquility is remembering that you are an emotional, spiritual being, and that the physical things in your life are just external. Money comes and goes. Houses come and go. But your spirit is eternal, and you really get a sense of security and understanding from that. This week has been really an amazing week of self-discovery, and now today, you get a real clarity that you don't need all of these physical things to feel safe in your life. You've connected with yourself, and that's where your true power lies. The Ace of Discs in reverse, you don't need a blessing from the universe in terms of finances or money. And a lot of you may be saying, hang on, as an expert on myself, I disagree. I could use a little bit more money. But that's not the gift. That's not the blessing today, because the Ace of Discs is in reverse. So the blessing isn't physical and monetary. The blessing is spiritual. It's about you realizing that the world is not your cage. You're not trapped by your life. You know, a lot of us, and I think this is a Will Smith quote or something like that. He says, you know, we work to buy things we don't need. We work in jobs that we dislike, to pay for houses that are too small for us and that we despise. We work in ways with people that are unhealthy to us so that we can maintain negative family relationships who put us down. You know, it's all of that thing about being on the merry-go-round, on the treadmill, constantly striving towards maintaining something that doesn't make you happy anyway. And the blessing here today is that you realize that external things, that money, that a beautiful boyfriend on your arm isn't going to make you feel complete within yourself. And you get that. The penny drops, the several pennies, the coins literally drop. And you understand that you're a spiritual being having a human experience and not the other way around. And if you want to fill that hole in the soul, then the only way to do that is to fill it with something spiritual. So for some people, meditation works. For others, walking in nature works. For other people, and especially the earth signs today, because we do have all these coins, you guys will benefit from just grounding yourself and going out in nature. it's really a gift in terms of saying my true security in life comes from the fact that I am who I am. And as long as I have my intellect and my abilities and my skills and my mind and my connection with a higher power, I will always be taken care of. I always had this, I mean, I read the Bible once just because I wanted to see what all the fuss was about, really. And I did read the whole thing. I listened to it in the car, actually, as an audio thing. And the one thing that stuck with me was look at the birds. I think it's in Matthew, but look at the birds. They don't worry about where their next meal's coming from. They know that they're provided for. They're able to fly, and they have total freedom. And if God takes care of them, birds, imagine how he's going to take care of you, his child, his wonderful, special part of himself that he's put here on planet Earth to progress spiritually. And we often forget that because it's like, okay, well, God isn't going to feed me though when I'm hungry. And God isn't going to get me a flat. Only an estate agent can do that. And God doesn't give me a hug in bed at night when I'm crying and I'm alone. But by connecting with spirit and by connecting with a higher power, you will be fulfilled within yourself, and then you take action which makes your actual life look better, and then you can attract wealth and abundance and prosperity. But you're not like most rich people who constantly worry about losing all their wealth. You know, a lot of people who are very, very rich aren't even happy with their wealth and their riches because they're constantly frightened that they're going to get robbed, or that the stock market is going to crash and they'll lose everything, and it still doesn't make them happy, and they've got billions. The final card is the devil in reverse. When the devil is this way up, it's about putting the material over the spiritual. It's the same message as the other cards. It's saying that you are no longer, your eyes open today. Okay, your vision clears, you realize you're a spiritual being, the world has nothing on you, and that applies to money, health, your situation in life, where you live. As long as you work on the spiritual side of you, your life will start to work. I want to give another example of this. And I've said this many times, but I was brought up in a very kind of middle class family. I was told to get a proper job, and I listened. I ignored my guidance for a long time because I didn't feel the confidence to listen to it. So I tried jobs like being a journalist and working as a school teacher and in finance and in all these different things that didn't make me happy. And I felt that I needed to do them so that I could pay my bills and I could have an independent life for myself. And if I did something that I really enjoyed, then I would never be able to sustain myself financially. And it was only when I turned my back on money and I said, you know what, I've been on this roller coaster for long enough now. I'm going to try something else. I'm going to turn my back on money and ignore it for the first time in my life. And I'm going to ask myself, what is it that I really love to do? What does Spirit want me to do? And I got the very quiet message of, why don't you put the daily tarot reading that you do anyway, why don't you upload that to YouTube? And I've been doing that ever since, and it's turned into my full-time job. I didn't plan that. I got that message very quietly, just in my meditation, and it took about 3 seconds, and it's changed my whole life. So that's this amazing gift that you're receiving today, that you reconnect with your soul and you see the wondrous, perfect, loving, flawless, infinite nature of it, because there's a spark within all of us that is untouched and perfect by anything that's happened to us. You know, if someone is a quadriplegic and very, very ill and they can barely speak, they have the exact same free, perfect and healthy soul as someone who looks healthy on the outside and who can walk and who has a bunch of muscles and stuff. Fundamentally inside, we're all perfect creatures of the universe, and it's about remembering that and getting in touch with it, and that's what's going to make the physical world follow suit. because the physical world is an outpicturing of our inner landscape, and your current life situation is a result of the decisions you've made in the past. Because they're all in reverse, let's look at what they mean when they're this way around. If you value money above everything, then you will get even more money today, and you will fall for the trap that money is your security and your safety even more, and you will become more and more entrenched in this downward spiral of, I need to make more money to maintain my life, I need to have more safety and security, and I can never relax until I've got more and more and more, and it's never gonna end. And you can stop that horrible cycle by just saying, enough. I'm perfect as I am. I'm going to get out of the driver's seat of my life, and I'm going to ask the universe what it wants me to do. And when you do that, I guarantee you, your life will change for the better. 15 and 10 is 25, and 1 is 6. 2 and 6 is 8, and 8 is power. You're being shown how much spiritual power you've got and how little power the real world has over you. Learn the lesson. Embrace your spiritual being. Love yourself. Forgive yourself for everything that's happened and say, okay, I know who I truly am now. I embrace this. I embrace myself completely, and I'm going to listen to that quiet guide of my higher self, of spirit, which is going to guide me into my lovely, positive, and fabulous future. The ego guidance is going to be loud and urgent, and it's going to tell you to rush off and do things very quickly. Higher self guidance feels calm. It feels quiet. It feels like you have to strain to listen to it, and it's consistent and it's repetitive. And if you've had guidance like that you've dismissed, like I used to do, then don't dismiss it anymore. Embrace it and make a fresh start, because you have real power as a spiritual being. And they've proven this. If you look at something, the actual object is changed because it's being looked at. If you have a wonderful inner world, then your actual world is going to reflect that. If it's all about low self-esteem and self-hatred, then your world is going to be full of people who are similar, and it's going to be very dysfunctional. So the work, it's an inside job. On this day, you really have the ability to reclaim your spirit, and that will then have a knock-on effect in your real life as you move into the future. So I hope you remember your power. If you'd like a private reading with me, if there's certain blocks which you simply can't overcome, and you say, listen, I did this terrible thing and I cannot forgive myself for it, and I can't connect to my spiritual self because of that, then we can look at that in a personal reading. We can look at why you think that that is unforgivable and how to overcome it, because everything is solvable. We can also look at what your life purpose is, what your vocational aptitudes are, what's coming up for you in future in all areas of your life, in your health, in your living situation, in your finances, in your relationship. So if you'd like a private reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. Click on the readings tab to order your reading. Please remember to subscribe to this YouTube channel. It is free of charge and really, really helps me. So I'd very much appreciate that. I hope you have a great day, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.